That was him.
Works.
What?
You gotta run the meeting.
You're the vice president. You gotta run the meeting. Babysitting.
Where's the El Presidente?
He is in Minnesota.
Okay. Call this meeting to order, I guess. Any delegates from the city? No. Minutes. Motion to approve.
Go move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Clubhouse report's not here either. Might as well go with the superintendent's report.
You gotta do the financials.
Financials
Oh,
is next in line.
Okay.
I like his propensity to move on though. Second.
So as far as the cemetery bills, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Somebody sees something, just holler. Cemetery financials were, actually, this is still last year's, so we don't even have this year's up to date yet, so. Golf course bills, okay. As far as the golf course bills, I did have, some larger stuff was insurance, workman's comp. Other than that, it's just been parts and miscellaneous stuff, so. I did purchase the new, not new grinders, but new to me. We purchased them from C&B Operations. We were going to trade in our old grinders, but that kind of fell through, so we still have to sell them. So we had budgeted $25,000, but since we weren't able to sell them, we ended up spending $35,000. So we'll have some revenue coming in at a later date. So. Otherwise, anything on those bills? As far as golf course expense and revenue, we hadn't had a lot come in till yesterday. Or Sunday. We opened the driving range on Sunday and we opened the course today, so we had a really good day yesterday, really good day today. Prior to that, we really didn't have much for revenue, except for fun pass stuff and that kind of.
So just out of curiosity, is this the earliest that we've ever started gaining revenue?
I know that they opened in February one time, at least one time. So.
It's the earliest in my memory. A lot of times it's April, you
Yep.
know.
The last 10 years, I would say, not just here at this golf course, but my other golf course, we're open in March about 2/3 of the time. Now, it might not be the end of March, but typically this early in March, maybe 20% of the time.
So I had an interesting experience yesterday. I went out to the course, and this gentleman came in to get range balls. And he put $100 down, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, you guys have gone up." And Eric explained, "Yeah, we're getting, how many new golf balls and range balls and stuff." And I just made the, he probably had no idea I was on the board, and I said, made a comment. I said, I was out in Ohio, and I mean, they're much more expensive than this. And, Eric chimed in Sioux Falls, they're this bucket. He goes, "Oh, okay, not a problem."
Yep. Yep.
Wasn't a problem at all. Especially when he explained to them that we're getting, 10,000 new balls?
Yep. We got 10,000 last year and we'll get another 10,000, so.
Yeah. I mean, so you're hitting quality with a bucket, you're hitting quality balls every
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
you know?
So hopefully we can weed out all the older ones this year when we get those. I think they come mid-April, so.
What's the lifespan on these balls? 2 years?
3 probably, 3, 4. So at this point, now we'll be back-to-back years where we got a big amount. Now if we just, instead of spending 5,000 a year, if we do 2,000 or 3,000 a year and just do that every year, can just keep,
So when we get rid of those range balls, when we're done with them, I mean, is there a market for any of those to a littler course or not really?
a little bit. I did end up essentially trading them in on some equipment. We can't sell directly to another golf course.
Sure.
So that makes it a little more difficult. I tried to Purple Wave them and they didn't want them. So my options are Purple Wave, trade them in, or I dispose of them. So being a city entity, that's what our options are, so. So, I mean, we can look at this, but it's not really indicative of where we're at right now, so. As far as expenses, I'm already above on insurance, but that, I have no control over that, so. Yeah, like I said, most of it's working on equipment, so I'm getting a lot of parts, some software stuff, some travel for a conference. So I guess unless you guys have a question.
Approval of the financial report.
So. Second.
Close.
I'll-
Anything more to say about, on your superintendent's report now?
Yeah, I'll do my superintendents here real quick. And if not, I'll bring Eric's up and I'll kind of overview until he gets here. We had some money transferred for the cemetery, for some stuff that we got, that we had budgeted last year but didn't spend. And then also, we did get approved, for a mini excavator, out of last year's money.
So for that 46,000, can you get a new one or? I mean,
Yep.
Can you?
With my trade.
With your trade?
Yep. Yep. So I'm in the process of that right now. Hopefully I got final approval to order it on Monday at the next
Can you
council
get one
meeting.
with a longer boom so we can go?
Little bit, yep. Yep.
Okay, what's the, never mind, that's a sidebar conversation.
So anyways, there was, we did have a $4,000 donation in a previous year that we got moved forward for headstone repair. So that was brought back into our, and we have plans of using that right away this spring. We did burn a tree pile by the dirt piles. So that saved a lot of hauling out, but don't think we'll be able to do that again, so. The city did acquire a tree grant and the golf and cemetery are a big part of that. I don't remember what breakdown it was, but we'll have fair amount for, in the cemetery and the golf course
Are
for,
they good trees?
we can choose them. We can't choose just any tree, but we have a list that we can choose from, so,
No problem.
Huh?
No problem.
No,
you know.
No, or cottonwoods.
you
no got.
know. As far as the community guards, when I wrote this, had 47 spots available yet. We've had a couple yet. More than that go, so we're probably down in that 40 range. But we haven't really heard from everybody yet, and we have some people on the waiting list, so we're anticipating that will be full again this year. And we might open up another section of 5 gardens. We've been contemplating that, so.
Where at?
On the north side of the L, there's actually 3, in one section, there's 5 garden spots. There's 3 of those sections over there, so. We had also contemplated at some point possibly doing a tree nursery over there too. They wouldn't be in there long enough to get real tall, so it would work over there, so. For the golf course, last week I attended the South Dakota Golf Course Superintendent Association meeting and trade show. Sat through probably 8 classes, learned different things on turf and communication and stuff like that. So very informative. Got a lot of information from the trade show. Reel grinding's almost done. Tree cleanup from last fall almost done except for the stumps. I do have a few more trees to cut down for the project. Hoping to get started on stumps soon. We have one more set of T markers to paint, and we're going to have all the T markers painted. Next year, I'm probably going to look at sandblasting them and painting them. We've washed them down, scraped them down just a little bit, and painted them. They're going to be all right for this year, but for next year, I'm going to look at actually sandblasting them, getting them down to metal again and start from fresh. Talking to Kevin Norby, we're going to start having regular construction meetings going forward. And then the only thing the golf course had transferred over from last year to this year was the project money, so. Other than that, that's all I had. Any questions for me?
Knock on wood that winter's over, but did we winter okay?
Yeah, it's starting to dry. So, I mean, if we don't get some moisture, I'm not able to turn on my irrigation. We could lose a little turf yet, but I've been we were water, so there again, we opened driving range yesterday, golf course today. We hand watered the practice green yesterday. Today we got water on everything. Tomorrow we'll probably hit everything again. We're hauling with tank or from the clubhouse or the shop or the bathroom on 13. With the temperatures coming up, I wasn't real comfortable turning on the irrigation yet. There's no frost in the ground, but with the temp lows they're talking about, so I'm trying to get through Wednesday, and then I'm going to gauge it from there when I'm actually going to turn on irrigation. So if the lows weren't quite as low, I probably would have been charging today. So, but yeah, overall, was it 7T last year? Kind of got, I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Yep.
7T
in front of 8 green last year.
Yep.
Took a little bit hard.
Yep. Overall, yeah, everything looks pretty good. Like I said, but if I can't turn on irrigation and we don't get any rain, we could yet, but so. If you want to bring up Eric's report. and then,
Did you say you had Eric's report too?
yep, yep. So we'll just bring it up, and he, being open and he doesn't have much staff yet, he had something he was gonna address before he came, so. Some of this correlates with what I did. Says here, you guys want me to read this, or you just want to read it?
We can read it.
All right. I did already turn on the water in the clubhouse. I might have to drain it back here at the end of the week, but, so.
Do you know, has he gotten much response from those emails that he sent out about events and tournaments?
Most of them are staying out there. There's one, the DW college meet. They're going to have both days at Lakeview instead of one of each. And then there's one other that we picked up directly from out there. Other than that, the rest have decided to stay out there. There's one we haven't heard from, but we're assuming since we haven't heard back from them, that they plan on staying out there.
Is the one that we picked up, is it a big one?
Fairly big, yeah. It's not, it's 120. It's a fundraiser. I think it was 120 last year. Big friend, little friend.
They're par three?
Yep,
Are we going to set that up as a par three too, or are they going to play it normal?
yep. So
Yeah, do some cool stuff out there.
there was a couple other, well, I think the calendar is on here. Or did he not put that on here?
He said he was gonna have it as a handout.
Okay. And I did not bring it. I have a copy, but I did not bring it with me, but, we did have a couple of our tournaments that we normally have, or that we've had over the past couple of years, that they just decided they're not gonna have their tournament anymore. They're, company ones that they just wanted their funds to go somewhere
Any
else.
state events this year?
Nope. Nope. We were requested to have one, but it would have conflicted with our project, so we just told them we can't do that. We were kind of asked about two of them, and we said, this one will work, but this one won't, and they had somewhere else they want to take that other one, so.
Okay.
Maintenance agreement. Lot sale agreement, Calvary Cemetery.
Yep. So we did not change anything on any of these three for this year. A couple years back, they went up fairly significantly. So we did not increase them this year, especially with Calvary. They're going to be footing part of the bill for the digital cemetery. So we'll probably reapproach them, or all three contracts next year, but, so nothing has changed on it.
We still have the motion to approve them individually.
Do we
Yeah.
have to approve this?
Yep.
Motion?
So move.
You got to do one at a time, though.
You want to do all three at once?
Nope, you got to do them
We
individually.
have 3 items.
There's 3 separate items.
Yeah, we're doing the first one, right?
Yep, Calvary.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Now you're moving on to American Legion Post 18.
No.
No, servicemen.
Campus. Lot sale agreement, Servicemen's Memorial
It's, like I said, it's all the same as last year, so.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Number 10, approved maintenance, lot sales agreement, American Legion Post 18. Any questions? I'll accept the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have updated fees to look at.
So we were asked to do the discounted fees for, that we didn't have on here for Trail King. If you look, I'll let him bring it up.
Was working ahead like Joe.
So the green ones are the ones we have already approved coming down. In the very far right column. If you, so nothing changed on that sheet. Go down to the second page. So if you look on there, the other one we did not have on there, we did not have our advertisements for T advertisements. So the way we do that is $350 if you just want a T advertisement. If you want a single membership with it, and then that's what that is. So the T advertisement plus a single membership was $850. Just the T advertisement is $350. So last year and a lot of previous years, it was just $750 for the single membership with the T advertisement. So it hasn't changed, but obviously our rates have changed. So we're just accommodating for that a little bit. We were going to go up to 900, but Eric and I decided to keep it at 850, knowing that we're probably going to have a jump next year in our memberships. So we figured we'd do another jump next year. So
Excuse me, Jason, what did you say about the green ones?
the green ones are ones we already approved.
Already approved?
Yep, we approved them 2 months ago.
2 meetings ago, I think. 2, 3.
Any questions about it? Gentlemen?
The one that for the credit card, debit card fee, we're going to come back to that one, but we're approving everything except for that one right now.
Not approving the credit card one yet.
We're going to do that separately.
Separate agenda item number 12.
Yep. So we're going to do it, but, and then down below is that corporate discount and then the golf and cemetery board discount. So the corporate discount is the only one we have. We only have one right now. And they have to have at least 10 employees that are participating in it. And when they do that, their memberships come out of their paycheck, and then we get one check from the business. So,
So the business pays you and they pay the business back.
yeah, it comes out of their check. The business pays us.
We've never had the discounts before?
The corporate discount?
Yeah, the discounts, the corporate discount.
Yep. Well, we've done that for about 3 years now. This will be the 4th year. And when we did that, we approached a bunch of businesses in town, but the one is the only one that, I think we did have one other one at one time, but they dropped below that 10. They just weren't interested in doing it, so.
Can you go all the way up on that sheet, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that's all I need. Thank you.
And then, so with the discussions that we've had in the last couple of months about the discounts and stuff, we had to have approved for the Golf and Cemetery Board discount. It was decided that you guys would still be able to get that, but you have to approve it on a yearly basis. So. So, and that is the 40% is what you've gotten as far as from my knowledge, as far back and what Eric's knowledge, so.
Well, this has been a tough year. Sitting on the board. We've been beat up a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
So I guess right now you're going to vote on just all of them except for the credit card fee.
So all the red.
All the red except for the credit and debit card.
So, can we make a motion then?
I asked Eric today, I said, went out to pay my fees. He said, well, you're not deciding that until tonight.
Yep.
The fees will work.
Make it official.
What?
No.
Make a motion?
Make a motion?
So
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now we go to the approved updated 24 fees, no, the 3% credit and debit fee.
So we discussed this end of last year, and then we also discussed it when we were doing fees. Some of the information Eric had gotten, I wouldn't say is inaccurate, but we didn't have the full picture of it. What he told me and the way I was looking at it is it would have been kind of a nightmare for him to navigate that on a daily basis, especially when there was a tournament. So we kind of put that aside for now. We got more information now. I think we're comfortable with it. So we would do that now. We got a lot of questions answered. So that 3% would be on all debit and credit card purchases.
What's the percentage at the golf course of people paying?
I asked Eric that, me and Eric looked at that today. It was about 80% today.
Wow.
Now, granted, most of that was memberships today. But I think that's pretty typical. 75% or better is probably regular. Now, when we implement this, will some people say, no, I'll write a check? That's fine. We're not getting dinged with that fee then, and we're still getting everything. So this is to cover our costs. It's not as an extra income. It's just to cover our costs that we get charged. So that was one of the things we were worried about because legally we can't get any more than what we're charged and consider a fee. We'll have to have a sign out saying all credit and debit cards are 3%.
Just going to ask you for your
Is
sign.
that on like a Gatorade or is that on,
If you use a credit or debit card. Yep.
it's automatically figured in?
So it'll be 3% on.
Show off on your bill, or like Tom says, just automatically figure it in?
It'll be on top of it.
And that's gonna be easy for Eric to,
Yep. So that was kind of the key on it because either you could do automatically, but then there's extra. So if you do the automatic one, there's 25 cents plus your whatever percent. So if you bought a candy bar, if we were on that, it would be 25 cents plus the whatever percent.
You have to push a button to make it happen.
Yeah. So now, if it goes from cash to credit card, now we'll have to switch it over back and forth. And that was one of our concerns is moving back and forth. And Eric talked to a couple other businesses and stuff that use Clover and talked through it on how it works for them and all that, and when they get busy, how it works. And so
And you
It-
can't do it, and we can't do it just like we did with the fees. Just put it into the price and.
you could, but we'd have to back off on everything and then, we'd have to redo everything then. And
That means everybody's paying it, not
Yeah.
just the ones who are using the debit or credit card.
So our purpose here is, if you want to use your debit card, that's fine. And there's so many businesses that do that now. I mean, it's just kind of a, not every business. I mean, some, like, we've been eating it for the last couple of years, and it's about a $12,000 is about what we average, 12, 13,000. So it's not a huge dollar amount, but it's just all adds up.
But it's on both credit and debit.
Yep. So, and then if you approve it, we will, we'll set a date that we're gonna start implementing. Obviously, we've had it the last 2 days. We'll probably set the 15th or the 1st of the month or tomorrow or whatever, and it's gonna be effective. We probably won't do it tomorrow. We'll give Eric a chance to get situated with it and everything, and when he's comfortable with it, we'll implement it.
I mean, we set it up before because we didn't want to deal with, you know, being a member,
Mm-hmm.
$800
Mm-hmm.
rather than 3% on it. We, you know, set it up. And we can't do that, so.
Well, no, that was sale, or that was tax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know that,
yeah.
but it'd be nice if we could, we want to say, hide this too, so, or not hide it, but just
Include
even off so that you don't. You're
Well,
good.
so this got brought to us a year ago, and the last meeting that we had, we discussed it, and we were asked to look into it. So I guess you can approve it. You can probably push it off to the next meeting if you want. But
I would like to push it off to the next meeting. Just, I'd like to hear Eric's, you know, to see, is he 100% for it?
yeah, I mean, and that's where it will
He's
be.
the one that has to deal with it.
Yep, and that was my main concern, is because he's going to have to deal with it. If somebody makes a mistake, he's going to have to rectify it. Now, the businesses that that he talked to, none of them said they catch every single one. So, like he said, this is to supplement. It's not a revenue source. It's just covering the expense. So, and at 3%, that is slightly above what the actual rate is. So it should cover
Times that you missed.
a few misses. So,
What do you think?
Well, I think it's a necessary evil, right? I mean, you're talking $12,000.
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean,
We're doing a funeral. Now,
Hmm.
I don't do it. I mean, I know people running credit cards 10 a day,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, for me, 3% on a $12,000 funeral, I mean, to me, it was an easy deal. It's a no-brainer for me. I think the sooner you institute it, people are just gonna assume that's the way it is.
Well, and then the thing about it is you always have the option to write a check.
Well, and that's the second thing. You can either
Yeah.
write a check or pay with cash.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, Eric is, and I don't want to speak for him, but I mean, in my experiences, you know, especially with the people that you know, the members that you know, hey, write me down, right? And I'll come in and I'll take care of it, you know, like as far as like a tab. And again, I mean, I'm not saying that, not speaking for him, that your regulars typically will run a tab and they'll come in and they'll clean it up at the end of the week. Well, instead of running my card at the end of the week, I'll just remember to bring my check in, right? If I want to avoid that 3% fee,
Mhm.
you know. Like,
And the memberships are where it would hit the hardest.
membership's where it's going to hit the hardest,
Yep.
yeah. But, you know, like you say, you always got the opportunity to go
Yep.
write a check instead.
Yep.
You know, and Eric's not going to be that guy who's going to say, no, right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, especially if he knows he's going to be, all right, hey, hit me up tomorrow, right? Or I'll see you in a couple hours. I mean, if it
I think
saves,
the only thing that really matters is like membership. Or,
Absolutely.
or, you know,
yeah.
or making
Yeah.
Buying irons or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I just know that Eric's always been good about that stuff. I mean, especially with people that we know,
Yeah.
right? You know, if I got a $1,500 bill for my family membership and everything else, and I got the option of running my card and it costs me another 3%, or running home and grab my checkbook, I know what I'm gonna do. You know, and I mean, if you have it signed,
What were you gonna do then?
I was gonna run home and grab my checkbook.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna grab my checkbook.
But here's what I'm saying. If we kick this can down the road to next month,
Right.
and all of a sudden, now we're gonna have people coming in and
Yeah.
paying,
Mhm.
okay? And Tom comes in and pays, and he's having coffee with some buddies, and all of a sudden, this guy pays next month, and he got dinged and Tom didn't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's
So you
better,
wanna do it
Well, I
tonight?
think if you're gonna start, it, start.
yeah.
Let's do it tonight. If Eric's.
This is out of Eric's pocket.
Yeah, if Eric is good with it, it's gonna work.
So, Kevin, a good point. This isn't 100% the golf courses. Some of this is out of Eric's pocket.
If we don't implement.
So as of right now, the city pays half of it, Eric pays half of it. So it's a $6,000 difference from what we're doing right now.
Let's do it.
So,
Yeah.
and my conversations with Eric, he was comfortable doing it, so.
His eyes are wide open to the
So I'm gonna
process.
ask an odd question. I wanna go pay my water bill here on a credit card. Can I do that?
Mhm.
Am I gonna get 3%?
Speaking of 3%.
They have their own fee, no different than.
Do you know? I don't know. I mean, are they doing
I
it?
don't think you do.
It's no different than the Lake Mitchell Campground, our park shelters, the rec center.
Sure.
We all have a fee that we have to pay for the credit card company. And so if you use your credit card, like out at the campground, you get dinged 4.95% on top of what you're paying to cover that fee. No different than at the rec center or anything else. It just keeps it from us having to pay that tab
Sure.
every month is all it is. So, no different than if you go down to the DMV, you go down to the courthouse to renew your license plates. If you write a check, there's no fee. If you pay with your debit card, they tack on a fee.
Correct.
They do.
Same with restaurants. Not all of them, but I can think of at least
You
one
walk
off
in
the top of my
there,
head.
you walk in the Twin Dragon, right there.
Yep.
So Eric, you know what we're talking about, so they would like your input on it and what you think about it. So I kind of informed them a little bit about what we've talked about, but you can give your side.
I mean, I would say it's gonna be a learning curve for staff, but that's something you can do, and I mean, saving $12,000 is the main thing, instead of sitting here increasing little by little on items or whatever it is. I mean, I talked to a few other businesses that did, and they have the same exact system that we do, and will it get every single one? I mean, there might be human error that they forget to put it on or something like that, but the more I've looked at it, I think it's feasible and doable. I think we should probably do
So are you in favor?
it. I would say, yeah.
Okay, well, then let's do it.
And you can back it off if you put it on, right? Like it's an easy keystroke, like if I'm gonna buy a soda.
It's a 5-second thing. And
Yeah, okay.
Me and Jason talked, to me, just get you and your staff in the habit of asking cash or credit.
Yep.
And then put signs up whenever we're starting it, and then, I mean, as they're fumbling through their wallet or whatever to get check or cash or card, you have time, the 5 to 10 seconds, whatever it takes to put it on, take it off.
So when do you want to start it?
I mean, me and Jason talked.
Would you, when would you be ready to start?
It's ready right now. I just have to train the staff as we go.
Give us a date.
So we also discussed, so just to fill you in, they discussed pushing it off, but they decided they did not want to do that. So, and the reasoning for that is because they didn't want some to get it and some not. Obviously, we've already had some, so that's why they're asking.
It could go in tomorrow. I mean, me and Jason talked April 1, but I'm thinking, I mean, our large dollar tickets are
Now.
now when we open up. So, I mean, yeah, you get the guys that come and pay their membership through March, but then the guys that come in April are not getting hosed, but they're I mean, they still have the option to pay check or cash, but they're not getting the, cause I told Jason, 2 or 3 people asked if there was a cash discount today, and they said, not. Right now, it's just the same, so we could start it tomorrow, and it'd just be a matter of doing it. I mean, for me, on my end, since I pay half the credit cards, I talked to Jason on this, I mean, $6,000 for me is me paying half the credit card. That's a pretty big sum for me to have back at the end of the year, basically.
So let me ask you this, because I can see this being a question that would be asked. Do we have the potential to get an ATM machine out there?
That I'm not sure if it would be through me or if it'd be a city thing that would be, put the ATM out there.
We'd probably have to look into that. Yep. We'd have to look into that.
Are you thinking, well, I mean, the ATM has a fee on it, or what are you thinking? Like,
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If somebody's like, well,
I'm gonna give you
okay,
cash.
here you go, I'm going to give you cash. Yeah. And I mean, and I realize there's a fee with that too, but those fees vary, right? I mean, is it just a flat $2 fee? Well, I'll pay the $2 fee if my 1,500 bill at 3% is whatever, I'll pay that $2 fee, right?
You know, realistically, when is it really gonna matter other than memberships, buying a set of golf clubs, or,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, in
anything
the end-
over, like for minor stuff, 20 bucks and 60 cents.
Yeah. And all those, and all those things that you're talking about are all pre-planned things, right? Like, your golf clubs are coming in. You're going to go out and pay your membership that day. It's not anything that's
And
happening right there.
And we'll send out an email to members notifying them of this, so they know as they're coming in.
Well, I think that's why we need to have, like you said, as of
Yeah.
March 11th, or March 12th, or March
Yep.
15th.
I would say if we're gonna just put 3/15 on it, so that tomorrow if it signs up, it just say as of March 15th, so that gives them 3 days, even though 3 days it probably won't be open, but just so it's out there.
Gives you that then as a cushion day too.
Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Need a
So-
motion?
Whoever makes a motion, make sure if you want a specific date that you stated in your motion, so that it's part of the record.
So I make a motion that by March 15th, this 3% increase on credit and debit cards be implemented.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass. Oh, it's over 2.
Do you have anything, Eric, that you need to add to the clubhouse report?
yeah, they read over it. We didn't really talk about it.
There's not really much other than today was very busy, it's still busy.
Did you have schedule?
I might have 2 of them, I don't have enough to hand out all the way through.
Are you guys looking for staff yet? Both of you?
I'm up in the air yet. I'm looking pretty good, but I could have, I just don't know yet.
Are you hiring
What's that?
staff?
I got about 3 or 4 kind of wanting in, and I got to interview them and stuff. But possibly when we get rolling, like for the year, and I kind of know where we're at, it might, it's hard to tell right now. You got some?
I had 2, but I was just wondering, just general. But yeah, I got 2.
It's a possibility, but I just can't say for sure if they get enough hours from me, my side
Yeah.
of it.
I got to nail down a couple people and they need to give me an answer, so maybe if you just want to talk about new or ones that we're not having.
So coming up here, I didn't print off the extra copies I was going to before I came. Some new events, just one coming in April is the Dakota Wesleyan men's and women's college golf tournament. That's on the 8th and 9th of April, which is a Monday and Tuesday. That's new. Everything else in kind of April and May is a mixture of league starting, ladies' day, men's day, and then high school golf tournaments, which are none out of the ordinary. Team Acres is not at Lakeview anymore. We had talked about having Team Acres out here. They're staying at Wild Oak. Get into June's kind of all the same events, nothing new there. The Chamber is having their tournament on the 14th of June, which is a Friday, but they go back and forth between Wild Oak, so they're back here this year. One event that freed up in July was the annual Sadaro tournament on July 12th. They are going to Rocky Run this year. One tournament that has been added is a Big Friend, Little Friend Part 3 event on the 15th, which is a Monday. That's right after the city tournament. Nothing else new in July. Get into August, obviously that's when renovation will start too. There's nothing really new. There's a class reunion, but that's tea times on the 3rd of August. And then we've had a few, Innovative Systems is doing elsewhere for their employee stuff, so they're not having a golf tournament this year. So we've added one, and a couple of them have gone. But then there's some new, not new ones, but quadrangulars for the high school girls team that are now we're on the rotation. They were at the other host schools in previous years, so it's a pretty, I'd say, from the past 6-7 years, it's a pretty similar schedule. We reached out to the Mitchell Wrestling Tournament that they wanted to have theirs on June 15th to see if they were gonna stay a while though. And then there's one Trail King tournament now. I got an email today, they're canceling the May 2nd. So there's really nothing overly pressing on the schedule, I'd say, as of right now, until we get more rolling. I get more probably calls from people thinking golf tournaments and stuff.
And we had kind of decided we're going to be very selective, or if at all, nothing after the project starts.
And I'd say,
So-
like, I mean, I know today's our first day of actually open, but if like people are wanting to get out and stuff, but if today's any indication, we had 144 people play today on our first day open, so.
On a Monday.
on a
And that didn't start till about,
10:30 was the
Most
first
of
tee
the
time.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them were afternoon. Started at 10:30. The busiest time was from about 11:30-ish on, and it's still going. So, I mean, I'd say 130 some golfers during the summer's good. I mean, we'll get up to 175 to 200 on a weekend, but on a Monday or so. I mean, if that's any indication, who knows how the flow will continue as the year goes on. Obviously, a lot of people are wanting to get out when it's nice out right now. That's why it's so busy, but, and obviously, we only have an hour left of daylight, so granted, come the summer, you got 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. compared to 10 o'clock right now to 7:30 p.m., so.
How many of those were green fees today?
About 1,000, not the money wise, but, I'd say the dollar amount, but $26,000 over the whole course of the day, and 1,000 of that was green fees.
It's a good day.
mhm.
It's a good day for March 11th.
Every day.
Yeah. So people are content. I've noticed when I was back and forth from the golf course from 4:30 on, but there's a lot of the college kids are still coming out, which, I mean, it's good. There's a lot of good play, and there was probably, out of all the golfers today, 75% were people that I've seen, known, have played a lot, and then the other 25% were first time I've seen them. So, see how tomorrow goes, and then, yeah.
Hopefully rain this week, huh?
Yeah.
Hope so.
I don't know if there's any other questions. That's all I kind of forgot to print out those, the extra schedule.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There might not be anybody wanting to play tomorrow after seeing those pin placements today.
Yeah,
There were some unique ones.
Did you notice?
I didn't do it.
But it was good, because they're away from the center, you know, they're like up on
Well,
the,
and that's what I.
keep people, the traffic off the main part of the
That's
green.
what I told them.
Yeah.
Try to keep them towards the cart path.
And that's good.
Tom,
That's good,
because he
because
hates golfers.
they're on the, there's some unique ones.
Okay, I just saw.
But they're good though. I
Any
mean,
particular-
I look at it and go, that's smart.
Any particular one?
All of them. No, one is unique.